So thank you very much, the organizers, for putting together a very interesting theme, Bharat Suraksha 25. Thank you all for joining us this morning to learn about what's happening on the securing of the digital future of India, right? So at Accops, what we are also trying to do is to contribute significantly to the Indian digital defense, and also making sure that we're building and powering the entire digital future to make sure that all the cyber threats originating across the world are catered to, right? Interestingly enough, we're living in a very interesting time. India is on a phenomenal growth path. We're seeing huge amount of GDP growth. We're seeing our imports and exports improving. We see services, industrial output up. We're also seeing our physical deficit going down. We are the fourth largest economy in the country and on the cusp of getting to the number 3 position very, very soon. So this is all adding up to what the threats are originating out of, right? The developed economy or the developing economies are the easy targets, and they're the targeted economies which they go after. And therefore, you will see a lot more happening around the cybersecurity part of it. This also is powered by the digital growth, right? The digital adoption. So be a business to consumer services, be business to business services, be government to consumer services, you see that it is basically a digital platform which is delivering all these services, right? The last man standing in the remotest part of the Bharat is getting access to a service on a digital platform, right? What is it solving for? It is solving for the access, the choice, and the convenience for the remotest person on this part of the geography, right? So when this is happening, so clearly for sure, the technology challenges it brings are phenomenal, right? Let's look at a set of current threats, and these current threats around the cybersecurity are for real. You see a lot of malware getting into your system, viruses, bots, crawlers, spyware, adware, tons of malware always trying to get into your system. You see phishing attacks coming from in various forms and factors. You see denial of service or the distributed denial of service, getting prevalent. Your websites are going down, or the traffic to the websites are being diverted. You also see that your DNS is spoofed, right? The traffic meant to come to your websites is all getting diverted elsewhere. Zero-day vulnerabilities. The day you're launching a new app, right? The people are looking for what is the most vulnerable, possibility, and therefore they look for that, and you don't have time to react. You're just about to launch an app in the public portal, and then the vulnerabilities are all attacking you left, right, and center. You also see that there are SQL injections which are happening, right? There are malicious SQLs being put into your system so that they can bring down your entire IT operations. You will also see the men in the middle. So there are active actors who are always looking for vulnerabilities. What are these guys looking for, right? All of these are looking for data in your data center. They all are looking for the information, the intelligence, the business logic you've created, the business you're supporting. They are looking and going after that. So they always are looking for vulnerabilities within your data center so that they can exploit. Who are these people? Are these people, individuals, groups, nations? There are a combination of all of that, right? There are individuals who do it for their own personal profit. There are discontented employees who are basically trying to take or give it back to the organization. There are rogue nations which are probably looking for geopolitical reasons. There are groups which are having a different ideology, and therefore they are trying to attack your systems, right? So we see a huge amount of threat actors with the various amounts of motives trying to hit your data center and get your data. Now, this also is from the fact that your surface area of your data center has expanded, right? It is no more just a server, but it is server, storage, network, switches, router, application, database, mobile. All of that is what your surface area is. The larger the surface area is, the attack vectors are going to change, right? The attack vectors are looking for vulnerabilities across your policies, your patches, your updates, security. It looks at vulnerabilities on application, databases. So that is exactly why the surface area, the more the surface area, the more the attack vectors you will see coming into your system. And then it starts with the perimeter part of it, quickly moves into a network side of it, quickly moves to the application side of it, gets to the data, and then gets to your critical infrastructure as well, right? And the only way to sort of manage this is to keep looking and preventing, put up defenses much before the attack happens, and continuously monitor and respond to the threats which are emerging. And this is a constant job, right? Now, this is what is keeping the CIOs and CISOs very busy, right? The constant threat and the threat management is the top priority for a CIO or a CISO. Managing it at a viable cost is the biggest other issue. Making sure the teams, the people are aware and adhering to all of those is the third large challenge. Managing the regulatory compliance is the other big challenge. So the CISOs and CIOs are very busy. And then in all of this, in the middle of this, they're looking for the innovation as well, to bring down the cost, to bring more efficiency, to make it faster, deployment, and all of those challenges. So, and we work along with all the CIOs to solve for this, right? Now, some of the current technologies have a huge amount of challenges. We see this with VDI. There are only about 2 or 3 players who basically dominated this market, and now their pricing policy, their licensing policy, the deployment, they vacated the APAC markets as well, and therefore that market has got opened up. We see this with VPN. A lot of VPN vendors have only done a layer 3 based solutions, and therefore the VPNs are most vulnerable. We see this with thin clients. We see this with the MFA. The solutions in itself are not comprehensive, and therefore the CIOs are constantly being challenged to look at what is the innovative way of managing with current technologies as well, right? So here is where Accops comes in. We started our journey 13 years back, based out of Pune, and then we started with a VPN, but our VPN is a differentiator. We work at the layer 3, we work at the layer 4, we work at the app level layer 7 as well. It's been 13 years in running, and we were bootstrapped, and 2023 we got invested from Geo Platforms as well. So what it means is it's created a runway for us to do more engineering. It's created a runway for us to do more innovative products and solutions. It has helped us to expand our operations as well. So we are now a Geo company. We have about 300 plus employees. We serve more than 1,000 plus customers in India. 20 million users use our platform to secure their data centers. We also are in the Gartner's Magic Quadrant. So last year, we were actually an honorable mention in the Gartner Quadrant as a DaaS provider. We have climbed the ladder, and now we are in the Magic Quadrant itself. So we are one of the leaders or the visionaries in terms of the DaaS providing solution providers as well, right? It's a huge recognition from Gartner, given the fact that it's a made in India VDI, which has got into the Magic Quadrant. We also got recognized by the government. So DSCI and NASSCOM also has recognized what the products we have created, the innovations we have created, the solutions we are solving for, the real threats we are addressing, help to address them as well. So what do? Accops stands for Access Operations. So you have a huge set of access points which are accessing your data center. And that's what we bring together. We bring the access and the operations together and help solve for all the data centers. We basically have a unified platform which delivers a secure, remote secure access, and you can put your employees to work from anywhere to access your data center operations. Further to that, if you see this slide, you have your data center, which basically could be a physical premise, it could be on a cloud, it could be a hybrid, and that's where your assets are, your application, your databases, your servers, storage, routers, switches, everything is sitting there. Then there are a set of people who are going to use. They could come through a mobile, come through a laptop, they could come through a desktop, it could be any other device, right? And these are the people who are accessing your data center, right? Now, what we do basically is that we provide the security between your access and your operations part of it. So the first product which we have is the ZTNA gateway, the Zero Trust Network Access Gateway, which basically I'll talk through in the next slide. And then we built on top of it a authentication layer and multi-authentication layers, and we'll talk about that as well. We've also created a virtualization, both on the app and the desktop side of it. We provide the device management and the devices, the endpoint devices as well. So all of this is a combination of what we do at Accops, right? And no other vendor actually does this, all of them together. Are we only an authentication player? No, we are more than that. So we'll talk through that in our next couple of slides as well. Are we doing it ourselves? The answer is no. There are cutting-edge technology vendors, partners, solution providers who are in the market. We collaborate with them. We work with them. We actually engineering with them. We innovating with them. Be it BHP, be it Supermicro, Red Hat, be it Microsoft, or new technologies like Proxmox. We work along with that at the engineering level so that we can build a new product or solution for the growing markets. So the first product, as I said, was ZTNA, the Zero Trust Network Access. What really is ZTNA? ZTNA is nothing new, but it's just a fresh way of looking at your network and network security operations, right? As the word itself suggests, zero trust, which means that you don't trust anything. You don't trust the platform, you don't trust the media, you don't trust the people, you don't trust the device. You don't trust anything, which means that you will start looking and inspecting everything which is coming to your network. Create a contextual access rather than just a connectivity. Then authenticate. Authenticate the human who's coming in, authenticate the device which is coming in, authenticate the intent with which they're coming into as well, and also do a continuous monitoring over the period of the access. So this is our zero trust model. It could be a single user, it could be a federated access. They all come to my gateway. We look at the roles, the access they need to be provided, the privileges they have, authenticate and allow. We can further do authentication to check through a 2FA or a multi-factor authentication, other ways of authenticating before we allow them to get to your database, or data center rather, right? So these three stages are basically, once you want to adopt a ZTNA framework, look at authentication, segment the network, who is coming from where, and therefore what network they should access, segment the applications as well. You don't need to put everything onto the public. There are applications we can publish for public, but there could be internal apps which you want to keep it within data center as well, right? So this is our ZTNA, which can be on-prem. It can be on the cloud as well. So we have created another layer to provide you the ZTNA access and the authentication on the cloud as well. This is our access management, which is basically making sure that your identity is always authenticated. We do about 10 technologies, starting from a BioAuth, a facial auth, a FIDO key, a hardware token, a software token, email, SMS authentications, all of that, right? And all of this is a combination which you can deploy, or you can also look at a passwordless as well, just a QR code and you're into the system as well. And this is something which we have built uniquely for India as well. Then what we've done is to look at the virtualization. We virtualize the apps, we virtualize the desktops, and making sure that only those people who needs to access a certain set of applications are using those VDI technology to access their applications. What it also does is it's actually keeping the data back into the data center and does not allow the data to move into the endpoint devices. So VDI is foolproofing your data and making sure that data, once worked, actually cannot be accessed later, right? So a lot of organizations are adopting VDI at a faster scale, including the Government of India, which is looking and exploring this. We also have a device management tool. What we do basically is to pick up the inventory of all the endpoint devices, could be Mac, could be iOS-based, could be Windows-based, or any Android-based. Pick up the inventory, profile it, attach it along the profile, and make sure that those authenticated devices are only coming into your network and no other devices allowed. So that device management helps to do that. So what is unique, we are the only company which basically combines all of these technology onto one platform. The digital workspace can offer you as a consolidated offering, as one license, or you can buy it at a la carte as well. So the choice is been created for you. We also created a unique OS, which is called Nano OS, which is basically on a bootable USB. You log that in, and you get access. If you take the USB device, you don't have access. So that's something we built for government. These are our hardware-thin clients. I won't build much. We have also created one enterprise browser. So instead of using your regular browsers, use this browser, and this is a self-destructing browser. The moment session gets connected, it works. The moment you log off, this browser destroys. So it does not keep any data in terms of your whitelisted websites and others as well. So none of the data is published. Then we have a reporting server, which is called the Accops reporting server. All what you're doing, all the threads which are coming in, all the logs, all can be picked up here. We can pick up the sessions, we can record the sessions, we can look at the profiles of the sessions, and multiple things we can do using our ARS. So these were about the current threats, but let's look at also the emerging threats, right? And we saw the previous speaker talking about multiple threats. The quantum computer, Nilesh was talking about it. Quantum threat is real for sure, right? The algorithms which are getting built will crack your SSL security at 256 encryption, just not going to be enough. Sooner or later, you will need to have quantum cryptography into your system very soon, right? So what we have done here is we've actually working along with the framework on this quantum, basically to create the awareness, then create a governance plan, post which we are also helping customers to do the risk assessment and the inventory for that. Once that is done, we create a migration plan. Post that, we can pick up a pilot, run it, and then try scale it. And of course, also at testing and validation continuously over the journey, right? So what we do along with quantum is, it could be any quantum solution provider. We integrate with our ZTNA. So once the device creates a random number, it gets authenticated on my platform before it allows you to go into your data center. So that's the kind of integration we have already done here. The next big threat is deepfake, of course. Deepfake has two parts to it. It's basically the voice cloning or the face. And what we have done is to work with a company in Pune to integrate that technology and created a validation on top of their solutions as well. So that's something which is real because it is stealing your digital identity. It's also very difficult to create, follow the logs and prove the frauds in case the deepfakes are happening. And third, of course, a big emerging threat is the AI itself, right? And there are a lot of raw files which are getting exposed to the internet involuntarily. And when the raw file goes in, whether they keep it, the AI engine is keeping it, are they reusing it? We don't know about that, right? So even before the raw file goes up, we have actually partnered with a company, a company which has patented, filed a patent. They actually encrypt that data. And homomorphic, full, information is now exported into AI engine, which basically works on it, and you get it back in encrypted form. Using our platform, you can decrypt it and give it back to them. So your raw files are not going to be exposed at any point in time. So that's the technology we have now, integrated. So we have built security for AI as well. Okay, these are my largest customer base. As I said, we serve about 1,000+ customers across industries: manufacturing, BFSI, Government of India, defense, research, public sector, ITS companies, you name it, we're all there. Okay, so this is almost the last slide. Why us? Obviously, we're Make in India, 100% Make in India. We have the source code. We can do customization based on your requirements. We can build applications or protocols based on your requirements. Because the source code is within here, we can do all of that. And of course, we have flexible licensing policy. You can start with subscription. You can go to a perpetual. Or you can start with perpetual, go back to a subscription-based model. All of those are possible in our cases, right? And since this is a product which is built in India, we also serve global customers. So we work in about 7 countries, like what 42K is doing across the globe as well, right? So this is a snapshot of what we do. I'm happy to partner with all of you to build a Surakshit Bharat, as they call it. If you're Surakshit, I think Bharat can be Surakshit. So thank you very much. Really appreciate it.